Hey guys, thanks for coming back to my channel. Today we're going to learn how to be an incel. No, we're going to learn about the black pill, which from what I know about it is apparently where incels come from. I don't know if that's true. Okay, so the definition of the black pill is as follows. The black pill the black pill ideology claims that physical attractiveness is the primary determining factor in dating and relationship success. Unlike the blue pill and the red pill ideologies, black pill maintains that the effects that natural appearance has on one's performance and results in the dating world cannot be remediated by improving personality, clothing, hairstyle, or hygiene. Any non-physical characteristics, such as personality, will simply be shadowed by one's physical appearance, which includes facial proportionality, height, body fat percentage, and frame. The theory also holds that women generally want to date up, which is hypergamy, and tends to look for men who are higher than them in status and attractiveness, which leaves average men with even less options. A common misconception of the black pill are that it's a nihilistic viewpoint that is solely expounded by incels. In reality, black pill is entirely descriptive and makes no prescriptions as to what someone ought to feel about this realization. It is up to the individual. Secondly, one need not necessarily be an incel to be black pilled. Well, that's what I thought about it. That was, I guess, a misconception I had. So black pilled people can be incels, but not all black-pilled people are incels. Okay, so Wheat Waffles made a video about 100 black pill beliefs. So I'm going to go through that. I'm curious to see what I agree with and what I don't agree with. With the definition in itself, I already am like, this is super freaking negative, right? It's a negative outlook on life. So I'm not surprised that people become depressed or become nihilistic or incels, etc. After reading that.
1. Looks are the most important factor for man's dating success.
No, first off, number one, no. Because I would say that women have a varying degree of what they look for first. Looks might be a part of it, but it's not number one for all women. That's dumb. I would say you could have some that are like that, some that are like money, some that are like status, some that want somebody who's religious. Maybe you don't want to date those people because maybe you're not interested in them, but there's a varying degree of women, just like there's a varying degree of men. So I do not agree that looks is the number one thing. Now, I would say, if we're talking about maybe online dating, you could say looks is very important because literally what people do is they just go and look at a single photo or multiple photos of you. And if you're sitting there looking like the Hunchback of Notre Dame, my favorite reference apparently to use, then yeah, they're going to be like, well, who is this dude? He looks like Quasimodo, so that would be important. They're probably not going to swipe on you, but you can meet people other ways.
2. Women care about looks more than men.
Probably, I don't think so, but I would be inclined more to say men care about looks more just because we're very visual. However, I would say that women also have like makeup and things that they do to improve how they look on the outside. So somebody who's like maybe a 4 or a 5 can increase with some good makeup to like a 6 or a 7. I would say just in general, men are more interested in looks, but I could be persuaded to think it's more even.
3. This is mainly because women are much more selective in their mate choice. Their dating strategy can be compared to a single-line fisherman trying to catch the highest quality fish. Meanwhile, 4, most men take whatever they can get. They're like sea trawlers, throwing a big net into the ocean, picking up whatever. There's a lot of men out there that will pretty much go with anyone.
Even if you say this, and I agree with sort of the analogy that men try to get many, or at least that's the strategy that we employ, because we know, 80%, 90% of women are going to reject you or not work out, etc. So you kind of just put it out there and try to talk to a lot of women. I agree that women are more selective, but they are selective for different things. Not all women agree. Here is the one thing you should select for: looks. That's not how it works. I think it's silly to have that thought that all women are looking for the exact same thing, because they're not. You know what? Let me rephrase that. Women are generally looking for stability. So if you want to think about anything, they're looking for stability. They want a guy who's got their shit together and is stable in general. Now, you can say over the ages that changes. When they're young 20s, they just want to have fun and party, sure. But when they're actually want to have a relationship, if they're serious about a relationship, they want stability.
5. Looks is becoming even more important for guys now because of the explosion of online dating apps.
I agree.
6. Looks is also becoming more important because women are exposed to more and more options daily. What's the fastest way to narrow down 100 options? Easy. Just get rid of anyone short, ugly, bald, and so on.
If you're
7.
online, yes.
Any man an 8 or above in attractiveness will have the red carpet rolled out for him on online dating apps. 8.
Sure.
In contrast, any man between a 5 and 7 in attractiveness will struggle massively on online dating, getting barely any matches and scarcely getting replies to messages.
Yeah, and this is why do not do online dating. Like literally, I have done online dating and sometimes it doesn't work very well for me and I get matches, but then of course I have my own criteria and I'm not really interested in it and I don't think I get a lot of matches, and that's fine. Like, okay, fine. Online dating is not it. So go to a matchmaking service. Meet women through friends, meet women through family, meet women through your church or community group, or start some kind of a group. You know, I used to run an escape room meetup group. I met like so many women through that. Not that I was dating them because I was in a relationship, but if I wanted to date somebody, I could have asked these women out, and here I was in a setting where we would go to this escape room, we would like do some room service, go for coffee after in a group setting, and you kind of get to know them. So you'd be like, well, I could have asked them out easily. It would have been a really nice, gentle, soft way to like ask somebody out and get a date. It's not as hard as we make it to be. We just seem to want to just sit at home and be like, well, how come they're not responding? Like, stop. Go out and physically do something. We don't just have to sit in our house.
9. Any man below a 5 will get 0 matches for life.
Okay, that's a stupid thing to say because clearly you will not get 0 matches ever. Somebody will match with you, you just might not like them. And yes, I would agree, you'll get less matches. You will get less matches if you're like really ugly. I don't think any of these guys he's showing here are super ugly. Maybe the guy with the glasses on the bottom there, he's kind of a weird looking dude. It could just be his photo. Still will get matches, just not very much. Don't do online dating. That's all I'm saying.
10. On online dating apps, 60% of likes go to the top 10% of men. 11. 80% of the matches go to the top 20%. 12. 95% of matches go to the top 50%. Therefore, 13. Just 5% of matches go to the bottom 50% of guys.
Yeah, I've heard the stat before as well, so I'm assuming it's true.
14. These statistics also show that looks are mostly objective. There is very little room for opinion or preference.
Women have different things that they like. There was a woman, I was just on a date literally 2 days ago, and this girl tells me on the date that finds me so incredibly hot and attractive because I look like a cross between Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura, the two comedians from Two Bears, One Cave, and well, they have their own stand-ups, etc. And that I have like a funny personality and I'm charismatic. So she was like super like turned on, like it actually weirded me out because she was like way too into it. I actually haven't had this happen. I've had women comment that they're like, oh, we really like your beard, and to them it's sexy with the salt and pepper. But this one here, with like making me out to be like those two guys, those two comedians. Okay, first time. It just goes to show that like not everybody obviously would like how I look, but some people do. So just whatever. Just don't be like super fat and overweight. You know, that's something you can work on.
15. A man's money now means nothing to women as they can instead either work for themselves or rely on the government to provide resources instead.
That's a weird comment because first of all, the government doesn't provide you a lot of money. Who wants to live like at that lower level? Because that's not a lot of money. If you're getting 2,000 or 3,000 a month, that's like poverty lines. I don't think women are like, yay, woo, like what? As far as work, yes, women work now and they make more money, but you hear a lot of women saying these videos that I do where they're like, hey, I make this much and I have a certain lifestyle, so I want somebody who makes the same or a bit more. maybe you don't make and you make less. And I would agree with you, that's a challenge and it's stupid and it sucks. But women clearly care about money if they literally say, I want the same or more. Clearly they care.
16. Any man that gets in a relationship based on his money has no real attraction from the woman. It is all fake love.
If they're there for the money, then yeah, I would agree with you.
17. His only purpose is just to provide resources for her, whether it be pay for her bills, expensive dates, holidays, and so on.
Yeah.
18. Any man that gets a relationship mainly because of his money will likely get dumped as soon as he loses his job or investments. 19.
Okay, I don't totally agree with that one. I think it depends, right? If you lose your job and you literally do nothing and you just sit there and play video games or like be all depressed and stuff, yeah, the person's going to want to leave you because you're just like a negative. Who wants to be around a negative person? It's not even about women. Who wants to be around somebody who's negative and shitty and crappy and like, yeah, that's the person you want to have a relationship with? No. You want to be around somebody who's like in a good mental space, has a good personality, whatever, right? Like you guys get along. You don't want to be like always depressed together. That's dumb. So if you lose your job, that's okay. Just go look for another job or start a business or something. Like you're trying to do something. Don't just sit there on your ass and do nothing and just collect unemployment insurance. Like that's a stopgap.
Relationships based on money will likely end up as dead bedrooms. The man might get intimacy twice a year, on his birthday and on Christmas.
I agree.
20. Confidence doesn't mean much and only helps if the man in question is already attractive.
No. Disagree. Because confidence is so important to how you present yourself. If you are a confident person, you'll stand up straight. When somebody tells you something negative, it's almost like it bounces off of you. It's like, okay, fine. Like you'll take it in. You'll be like, okay, I can work on this, change this so I don't have this quality, let's say, that somebody's telling you, right? Or it's like, well, I can't do anything about it. That's fine. And that's just what I have to live with. And you just like, whatever, you just move on. Because you know that you have done things in your life, you've achieved things in your life that you're like, look, I did these things and that's impressive and I'm proud of myself. I love who I am. So that's what matters. So if somebody else comes and tells you some bullshit, it's like, okay, whatever.
21. This is because if an unattractive guy is confident, it is often seen as creepy or arrogant.
No. Real confidence is quiet. Like if you're confident, you're not out there like, oh, I'm the man. Oh yeah. And you're just saying, I'm so awesome. And you're just like coming off of like a certain way. That is not confident. That is arrogance, which is what he's talking about. Okay. Confidence is quiet. You don't need to tell somebody, oh, I'm so confident. It will be apparent via your actions and how you present yourself.
Besides, 22, confidence is very correlated with looks anyway. Statistically speaking, shorter, more unattractive, and overweight people are more likely to get bullied in school.
Well, I agree with you that these people get bullied in school, but confidence is not correlated to looks because confidence is built on your achievements and things. You were born, turned out to look a certain way. What did you have to do with that? Nothing. It was your parents who had sex, and then you got certain genes or whatever from your ancestors that came down and made you to look a certain way. And now some of it, yeah, maybe you're doing some style things and you're keeping yourself fit. This is not what makes you confident. Confidence comes from your achievements in how you view yourself.
Which, no surprise, is going to have a negative effect on a person's confidence and self-esteem. Meanwhile, 23, attractive people are more likely to be appraised from teachers, parents, which in turn boosts their confidence.
No, I would agree with you that when I was in grade school, I got teased a lot and I had low self-esteem. Went to high school, I kind of figured out some about myself and I became like the humorous guy. I knew everybody in school. I'd go around to make people laugh. I would get praise from the teacher because I was funny. Like I would study and do my homework, so I would give good answers. I think I was just a nice person. Threes like that, whatever. A lot of teachers liked me because I had a good personality. They don't like the guys who would sit there. I remember I had friends who would sit there and be like, they didn't do their homework, and when the teacher would ask them to answer a question, they'd be like, well, I don't know. Like they just say some bullshit. And like they didn't care. Teachers want a student who cares about what they're teaching or what they're doing, who's engaging, who maybe throws in some humor and is nice. They don't want like this negative kid in there be like, ugh, emo or some shit. It's not about attractiveness.
24. On top of this, generally people tend to adopt a level of confidence based on how they look. 25. For example, how can this short guy look confident to the camera if he's standing next to this man who's way taller than him?
Okay, but you took this photo. It's like one photo that you took as an example, where this dude kind of looks a bit awkward in the photo, just like his face. If you look at the first picture on the left, this is an example. Do you not think there are confident men who are short? Are you kidding me right now? What are you talking about? Do you not think Peter Dinklage, the actor from Game of Thrones who played the dwarf, right? Do you not think he's confident? Of course he's confident because he's achieved so much in his life. And I'm sure he has moments where he doesn't feel confident. Like everybody has those. But in his craft, in his acting ability, in whatever his hobbies are and things like that, I'm sure he's confident because he's practiced it and he's achieved things in it. That's where you get confidence from. You shouldn't rely on confidence because you just look a certain freaking way. Oh my God.
26. How can this man smile with confidence when he has bad teeth?
Okay, this is stupid. Literally, I have bad teeth, okay? If you want to see, look. I had this right here. I had a baby tooth that didn't like exit properly didn't come out properly, so it pushed my tooth out. I don't give a shit what other people, if they don't like that. I think it's like a characteristic, a different characteristic in my face when I smile. I think it looks kind of cute and interesting for me. And I've actually had women tell me that they thought it was like it gives me like a charm in my smile or something. That's not exactly what they said, but along that line. So it's completely bullshit. Now, if you have a bunch of teeth that are literally all mashed up and like weird, yeah, okay, I agree. Go get braces. And if you can't afford them now, you need to make it a priority to get it done. Okay? That's fine. We're not all just like born with perfect teeth and shit. And I agree with you. So there are points where maybe it's going to be too crazy.
27. How can this man be confident in his own skin when he has severe facial acne?
Go to the doctor. There are treatments for acne. This can be changed. It's not like you can't change it.
28. Status also doesn't matter for these reasons. Because 29, similar to confidence, status is also largely determined by looks. For example, 30, 58% of CEOs are over 6 foot, despite them only making up 15% of the population.
Okay, but height doesn't necessarily correlate to looks. You could be completely facially ugly and be 6 feet.
Additionally, 31, women tend to only care about status when they have reached settling down age. 32.
I would agree that when you're 20, like a woman's 20, she's going to be more interested in just playing around, whatever. As a stereotype, not all women, obviously. Like when I think back to my 20s, I was like so odd and messed up. Like I was doing like weird shit, man. I didn't have my stuff together. You shouldn't be focusing on dating and whatever in your 20s. Yeah, date if you want to date, but it's not like you should be like, oh, I'm getting married now or something. I just feel like you need to sort yourself out. That would be my advice as a guy, because we seem to mature later. Like I wasted a lot of time in my 20s just doing weird shit. 28 probably was around the point, the 28-30 range, where I actually started to get more of a grasp on myself. That was a good point for me, and I get it. They might have slept with a bunch of people at this point. That's a totally different topic, so we can complain about that in a different video.
University-aged girls don't care much about a man's BMW if the man driving it is short, old and balding. 33. Women only start caring about your personality after you're above their minimum looks threshold. 34. If you're way above a woman's minimum looks threshold, it gets to the point where you can get away with pretty much anything.
Yes, you can get away in the short term, but if you're talking about a long-term relationship, nobody wants to be with somebody who's an asshole. Anybody who is like a solid person, who is confident in themselves and knows what they want, is somebody you would probably want to get with and be married to. You know what I mean? Like somebody who should be in a relationship, not like all messed up. They don't want to be with somebody like that. If you just look for good people, you won't have to worry, because a good person who is going to give you a quality relationship won't want that. And so they'll be looking for you the guy who's normal, who's not going to treat them like shit.
And in fact, your negative personality traits can be seen as positives. See 35. An attractive man who is shy is perceived as cute. Meanwhile, 36. An unattractive man who is shy is seen as antisocial.
Okay, I don't know. I don't know about that.
37. An attractive man who is awkward is seen as funny or adorable. Meanwhile, 38. An unattractive man who is awkward is seen as weird or creepy.
Okay, but you said funny in the first one. I would say if you're awkward and you're attractive, I still think it's weird. People are going to say it's weird. If you're unattractive and you're funny, sorry. Have you seen some of the male comedians who are... They are not good looking. And they are still funny, and women like them, and women will go out with them and sleep with them and shit. So I do not agree with you.
39. When an attractive man makes bad jokes, they will be voluntarily laughed at by women as they want to impress him. Meanwhile, 40. When an unattractive man makes good jokes, they will be shunned as they will be seen as or uncalled for.
Oh my god. Whatever, dude. I mean, just like at this point, I'm like, this is such a negative way to look at it. It's so dumb. You can be attractive and make if you just make dumbass comments, there might be some women who might just be like, ah. Any solid woman is going to be like, this guy's a freaking tool. Doesn't matter if you're super attractive. You have to understand social cues and be socially aware. Oh my god.
41. An attractive man who is intelligent is perceived as smart. Meanwhile, 42. Intelligence on an unattractive man is nerdy or geeky.
Oh my god. Oh my god. This is so dumb. I know what you're trying to say, but this is dumb.
43. An attractive man with no friends is seen as a lone wolf. Meanwhile, 44. An unattractive man with no friends is seen as a friendless loser.
Oh my god. If you are unattractive and you have no friends, it's not like that, okay? I don't agree with you.
And now I've got almost half of the points out the way. Now is a good time to press the like button and leave any thoughts you have in the comments below, as it helps.
I can't like this video because that would be a positive reaction, so I can only thumbs down because I'm watching a Blackpill video.
45. Things such as grooming or improving your appearance don't amount to much.
That's bullshit. Bullshit. There is no way that doesn't matter. Look, I am balding or balded, whatever. If I had long hair and I tried to like comb over my hair over my balded head and I have like the strands shit, that would look way worse than just me doing what I do now or like shaving my head. Oh my god. This is the dumb point.
And are overrated. This is because 46. Clothes and haircuts are not tied to your genetics. You can't pass down an expensive haircut to a child.
Oh, but you can pass down the teaching to that child, hey, you should dress well, you should present yourself nicely. Are you freaking dumb? What kind of comments is this?
Is an environmental factor. Therefore, women won't care about it. 47. Additionally, these factors often only work when the man is attractive anyway.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. This is annoying. I'm so annoyed right now. Anybody can look more attractive by dressing better and styling their hair or whatever, like taking care of themselves. This is the dumbest point. I can't believe someone actually put this in a video or whatever and believes this shit. Who believes this shit? Those are people who have no confidence in themselves, which I guess is what I said at the beginning and why they're incels. I just feel like you need therapy. You need to have friends and family around you who love you and support you. And these are people who don't have that. And I feel bad for them. And if I could help them in any way, I would. I mean, I know a lot of people don't like Jordan Peterson. A lot of people like him. But I think he does a lot to help these people. Or at least he tries to. And I think they should follow something like that. It doesn't have to be Jordan Peterson. It could be somebody similar. But oh my god.
Nice clothes look good when worn by attractive men, not the other way round. 48. An unattractive man in the exact same clothes will look terrible.
Shut up, dude. He doesn't need to shut up. But the comment is stupid. You're not going to wear the exact same clothes. If this guy is fit in a certain has a certain style, he should wear a certain type of clothes. You don't need to wear the exact same clothes as him. You will develop your own style. Holy crap. This is not rocket science, guys. What works for one person doesn't necessarily work for the other person, especially with style. Like, you're going to wear different things.
49. Going to the gym only helps if you are at least average in the face, for which it can dramatically improve your appearance.
No. Getting fit will help anybody. That's so stupid. Of course. Do you think even if you're a 2 and you're super overweight, you're like 500 pounds, if you lost the 500 pounds and you went down to what, 200 or like 180, you think the super 500 pound guy is going to be more attractive or just as attractive as a thinner fit version where he's like muscly and whatever? No, that's the dumbest thing ever. But clearly it's better, and it's better for you physically and your health and for your confidence and how you feel about yourself. It's just better all around. This is dumb.
Meanwhile, 50, if you're below average in the face, getting a gym body will unlikely work.
Oh my God. So you're telling me, looking at these two guys, right? And I would agree, not a super attractive looking guy. You think that the picture on the left where he has he wasn't even fat actually. Actually, he's pretty okay, like on the left. But then he got like ripped. You're telling me that he doesn't look better?
As it will be seen as overcompensating. 51, a gym body can look pathetic on a short guy, like he's an aggressive leprechaun.
What the fuck? An aggressive leprechaun? He just looks ripped. I mean, you cut his face off right now. You just made a big assumption that he looks an aggressive leprechaun. Whatever. Like, this is just like it's like a personal opinion thing, and I just totally disagree with it. Women, comment below if you think short guys who are ripped look like aggressive leprechauns, or you would prefer if they were not ripped.
52. Some men who are even above average in the face and height are still genetically limited due to factors such as a poor frame and bad muscle building genetics.
Agreed. That is a thing. We have genetics and it affects us in different ways. I agree.
53. If a man has good height who was previously overweight, lowering his body fat percentage in the gym can completely transform his attractiveness.
That's actually kind of amazing, actually, if that's the same. I'm not even sure if it's the same guy. It doesn't quite look the same. But, yeah, looking at him on the left, if that is him on both sides, yeah, he looks way better.
However, 54, this is only the case if the man's underlying facial structure is attractive.
No, these two, that's bullshit. I don't agree with this rating at all. He's a 3 on the left, and then on the other side, he's still a 3. Fuck you. That guy at least is a 5, if not a 6. Looks way better.
If the man is unattractive beneath the fat, he'll barely be in a better place than he was before. 55. The only difference between a friend and a boyfriend is how physically attractive you are.
No, that's not true. We literally just did a video by you, Wheat Waffles, literally, where you talk to women and they continuously friend zone guys who were like overly fit, like went to the gym, looked like they pumped a lot because they were like, well, I don't know if they're like dating material because, you know, they're so attractive and my self-confidence XYZ. Right there in your own goddamn video, we've disproven this stupid point.
56. Most mainstream dating advice is simply awful, and it only serves to temporarily make people feel better about themselves. 57. For example, phrases such as just be yourself, just put yourself out there, just be presentable and make people laugh.
That is not necessarily bad. If what you said throughout this whole video is you shit on it and be like, well, you're 5'3" and you're ugly in the face or whatever, so you're screwed, then why wouldn't the best advice ever be just be yourself? You've literally just made the argument that is great advice because it doesn't matter. That's your freaking argument. So that's so stupid. Oh my God. The one about just making people laugh, yeah, that's a good one.
Are only surface level and don't infiltrate deeper meanings of attraction. 58. In fact, any dating advice that starts with just do whatever is probably going to be terrible advice.
I somewhat agree. Just do whatever is not good advice because it presents it like, look, if you just do this, you're good. Everything's fine. No, things aren't that easy. So yeah, I would agree with you, it doesn't make sense. So things aren't quite that simple. People are complex. Like, we have a lot of different things that make up who we are. So you have to work on a lot of things, not just like one thing. 59.
The number of men excluded from the dating market is increasing year after year, and this is mainly because of rejections based on looks. 60. The attractiveness of your face is determined by your facial bone structure.
Whoa. What are these skulls right now? The one on the left, what is it? It's like an alien skull? And the one on the right has got like weird cheekbones. I don't know what's going on here.
And is almost entirely genetic. 61. The importance of facial features goes eyes first, then jaw, then hair, then mid-face.
Oh, that's pretty good for me. People have always said I have nice eyes. And then the hair thing is farther down the line, then I'm good.
However, 62, it is better to score averagely in everything rather than having one or two fantastic features along with one outstandingly bad feature.
Okay, fair enough. Like he's got like his forehead hair or whatever. Okay, sure.
For these two guys, the man on the left is more attractive than the man on the right because he has much better consistency. And this is despite having a lower overall score. 63. Surgery may be one of the only potential solutions for men with unattractive features.
Sure. I mean, I'm not a big proponent of the surgery stuff, but I mean, if people want to do it, whatever.
64. Height is an attractive trait as it is seen as a display of dominance.
I would agree there. I wouldn't necessarily say dominance. It's more like protection.
65. The ideal height for men falls between the 6'2 to 6'4 range.
Who determined this as the ideal height?
However, men who are 6 foot are also in a good spot and don't have anything to worry about. 66. Every inch you have lower than 6 foot is seen as a small blow to your overall attractiveness. This is the danger zone.
Says who? Who says if you're over 6 feet, you're good? I know like women will say like, oh, I like somebody who's taller than me. I don't know about this where it's like 6'2 and 6'4. Like, yes, they like taller men generally, but if they're 5'5 and you're 5'10, I think you're fine.
Meanwhile, 67. Heights 5'7" and below are in the no-go zone. Persistent rejections will occur solely because of height, and this is true even with an attractive face. 68, on the other side of the spectrum, heights taller than 6'4" are still good but have a few negatives going for them. Namely, it can increase the likelihood of falling into a niche market, also the likelihood of having an elongated horse face or a lanky body and frame will increase. Therefore, the ideal remains at 6'2 to 6'4. That said, those who are 6'5 and above are still better off than the average heighters of 5'9 to 5'11. 70. Balding can destroy a man's chances in the dating market, even if he was successful in the past. 71. Although it is still possible to be attractive if you're bald, the Blackpill teaches that less than 5% of men can pull off the bald look. And those people would usually need to be attractive to begin with anyway. 72. Balding will give the appearance of being 10 years older than your true age.
Yeah, no, I do agree there. It does make you look older. I mean, I started balding, losing my hair 22, 23. And I remember it started thinning, and then by 25, 26, I lost my hair real early, real fast.
73. Men reach their attractiveness peak between the ages of 20 and 28. 74. Men younger than the age of 20 may not have a fully developed face yet, therefore they're not as attractive. Meanwhile, 75. Men older than the age of 28 will increasingly face issues caused by aging, such as balding, skin degradation, wrinkling, and so on.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, as you get older, I mean, some people like the salt and pepper beard look. Yes, as it goes, at a certain point, yeah, you're getting wrinkles and thing, and clearly you look older, and you're not going to be like going up to 20-year-olds and be like, hey! Like, you have to date more in your age range. 76. This process of aging will likely start off slow, but accelerate rapidly into a man's mid-30s. 77. Women reach their peak of attractiveness between the ages of 18 to 24. 78. The peak of attractiveness for women is narrower than men's because aging affects women faster, and this is due to women's smaller fertility window. As you can see from the chart on the right, men's decline in fertility is much more gradual. 79. The ideal P length is 6 inches or greater. Oh, really? What's the average? 80. 5 inches is seen as an uphill struggle. Again, this is the danger zone. 81. Anything below 5 puts you in a very difficult situation. 82. I like how I just accepted his, what he put forward there, that 6 and up is good. I just like, but some of the other points, I'm like, ah, why did you get this? Women of all ethnicities have a preference of dating ethnically white men. However, 83, Chads are their own separate class. 84.
Women will never tell men the truth about just how important looks are.
Well, they do in different ways. Like if you're dating a woman and she's like, I don't like your clothes, I want you to wear a different way. Like she's going to tell you in subtle ways. That's her talking about the importance of looks and attractiveness. Yeah, women are subtle.
85. The main reason for this is to avoid causing upset. 86. Instead, women will tell men personality matters the most in order to keep those guys in the friend zone and or keep receiving attention and validation from them.
Well, I don't think personality matters the most. I just think it's a lot of things that matter. I just think it's not just looks or personality. It's all the things we discuss. It's how much money you make, how confident you are, your personality, your looks, your height, if you're overweight, status, right? It's all these things make up who you are, and women weigh those things. Just like when you're meeting a girl, you're not just like, well, she's super hot, I want to marry her or whatever. Yeah, you might think that initially, but then you get to know her and you're like, oh my God, when she talks, she is the freaking dumbest person in the world and she is so annoying. You're not going to marry that person. Like, you don't want to be with them long term.
87. Women only date up in terms of value. There is no dating down out of sympathy because she feels bad for the guy who can't find anyone else.
Generalization, but I would somewhat agree that it's even and up. We hear that very often from women. That's kind of my experience as well. But some will date down. I literally have a friend who is dating a girl right now who is dating down.
88. And if there are no men available for her to date up in value, she would rather share a Chad than have a beta all to herself.
Women generally don't like to share men. Pretty known, so I do not agree with you.
89. The only exception to this is where a woman will deliberately date down with a guy in order to seize control of the relationship.
That I kind of agree with. I do kind of agree with that. There is a lot of women who date down and whatever, and they are the women who like to be in control.
90. This will often lead to things such as the woman will decide if and when intimacy happens, or 91. The man needs to compensate for his lack of looks by contributing disproportionately more financially towards the relationship. 92. Polygamy is becoming an ever more present reality for the future of the dating market.
I guess there's more of that happening, at least if you look online. I don't really know how much is really happening in the world, so...
3. It is impossible for any woman, irrespective of her attractiveness, to not be able to...
This is not a real profile. She's Jennifer, she's 20 and she looks like that. What the F? Sorry. She looks like she's a 40-year-old mom. Message me first because I won't. Recently single. Drink cigarettes, juice with me? What? What is this? Okay.
To get intimacy within the very next 24 hours. 94. Dating is like supermarket shopping for women, but like trying to find life in outer space for men. 95. Modern women...
That's a funny comment. Outer space. This planet is devoid of life again. Traveling for years to get to the next place just to find like nothing but rocks.
Women will spend their teens and 20s rejecting men who don't meet their crazy standards. 96. Then, in their 30s, those same women will plead, where are all the good men gone?
Well, okay. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but it's also like those good men still exist. They're just there. So how can they be gone if all the 20-year-olds are not interested? You know what I'm saying? Like, where did they go then? So the points kind of contradict themselves. You guys get what I'm saying, right? Like, okay, they're in their 20s. They're like, well, you don't fit my criteria, blah, 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 right? And then they get to their 30s, they're like, I can't find anybody. One of two things have happened in my mind. Either the men have obviously gotten together with people and gotten married or whatever and off the market, or they're still sitting there, the women are still sitting there in the same mindset, and they're like, I still have the same criteria that I had when I was 20, now I'm 30, I still have my same criteria, and the same men still don't meet them.
97. Modern women will friend zone unattractive guys in their 20s who have provider potential, therefore keeping him in orbit. 98. Then, in her 30s, she may try to settle down with the exact same guy so he can provide resources for her.
Yeah, okay, maybe, I don't know.
99. The media encourages men to provide resources and simp over women. For example, just look at Valentine's Day. It's all about the man proving himself and buying gifts for the woman.
Okay, I agree. I think Valentine's Day is stupid. You should just, if you want to do this for your person you're with, just do it. You don't need a day. I agree it's dumb. And I know a lot of women actually think it's dumb. And I was surprised because some of them are really attractive and they were just like, no, that's dumb.
Guys, believe me, I've worked in restaurants over Valentine's, and I'd say 80% of the time, the man has to pay the bill in full. 20% the bill is split, 0% the woman will be the one to pay.
What is the point of that comment? Because just in general, that's kind of like what happened. And it is Valentine's Day. The idea is you are treating the woman, so that I don't know what the point of that was, but whatever. Also, don't go to a restaurant on Valentine's Day anyways, because literally the food sucks.
Finally, 100. Women see it as an insult if an unattractive man approaches her, as she thinks he is insinuating he is on her level.
Shitty women think that, but a good woman will just be like, oh, thank you so much, and they'll take it as a compliment, even if they're not interested in you. Like, if an ugly woman came up to me and was like, oh, I'm so interested in you, and I was like, she's disgusting, I would still feel like, oh, somebody was attracted to me. I'm still gonna feel good about it. It's a human thing. It's just crappy people think like that. Okay, all in all, I mean, I disagree with almost everything in the black pill. I mean, there was a few things I agree with, but most of the stuff I don't agree with, and I think it's complete bullshit, and I don't think anybody should subscribe to this at all. But of course, do what you will, because you are your own person and you can choose to do that. I mean, if somebody wants to be the negative Nancy about all this stuff and like just feel down on their lives, it's only going to be a cycle that continuously screws you over. It's what's going to happen. You're just going to end up in the cycle that you are thinking about, like this negativity cycle. So you'll just stay in a negativity space. You have to break out of that, and this won't help you. So not a fan of the black pill, but was interesting to learn about it. Hopefully you guys all enjoyed that, and we will see you on the next one. Please like and subscribe. Thank you.